There you
is, he has it as when they are first
go. Oh, your
introduced
big
and
fat
just
fingers
becoming
in your
established.
cookies.
It would be C, yes. Did I change that? Oh, good, because
care of it
it
tonight.
says G. And I was like, did I not
We
switch
can
to
share it,
C?
so.
So 3 is false. 4, he gave 3 in heaven or royal Palawana. So anything that you have there, that's an invasive tree species. Okay. 5 is basil. 6 is false. 7, these are the examples he gave. Privet, burning bush, barberry. 8, the examples he gave were winter creeper, vinca, oriental bittersweet, English ivy, and kudzu. 9 is A, is the most economical way to prevent and control potential infestations. And number 10 is false. Okay, I'll set these out at the end of class tonight. We've got a couple other things to go through real quick, guys. I have your jump drives that came in. So at the break, or after we finish the break, we'll distribute those real quick because it gives me a chance to work on putting names and faces together again. You guys are very techy, and one of your classmates was very, very kind and put together this website. And it's kind of like Blackboard. If you ever heard kids talk about Blackboard, we're going to get all your stuff up there so you guys can get online and access all the class notes, the quizzes, and everything, and hopefully the videos so we can get that to work. So Lacey was very gracious enough to get all that done. So we're working on it, and we'll get you guys a login, how to log in and stuff, hopefully by the end of the week, if not the first of next week, okay? So it's very cool. You can do, let me see if I can show you your weekly lessons here. So, week 1, she has it up. Here's everything that your homework assignments, the handouts, all that stuff for week 1. So it's broken down for you guys. So I hope you use it. It's a very good tool that you're very lucky to have. I had no capability of doing this. So, yeah, thank Lacey for that, because that was awesome.
I'll send out an email so that you can get your logins, and I'll include a link to a video that will walk you through the introductions and show you how to navigate the site.
Something else we're going to do real quick. Last week you guys got your mentor list. So I'm going to very briefly go around the room so you can at least put a quick name and a face together, and then some of them are going to leave for the class, and then they'll be around for the intermission kind of thing, so you can get to meet them then. Bonnie Cummings, Jet Rose, Lisa Smith, Jeanette Griffin, Debbie. I was so close when I saw her sitting over there. Okay, so these ladies are the ones that help with the food. If you want to ever bring a snack, email Lisa. That's who's in charge of it. Okay? Sir, do you want to do your own introduction?
Jim Malloy.
Jim Malloy.
I don't have anything.
He's also a master naturalist, so, and he floats between Floyd and Harrison County. So, Bev Early, she's going to talk a little bit later on tonight. Mary Quinn, Karen Decker, Tony Fetz, Steve Roush is your vice president for Master Gardener Association. Yeah. Woo! I'm so excited back there. Lindley is our camera guy. Are you more than a camera guy, Lindley?
Stand-up comedian.
Dina Spielka. Carrie
So much
Cooper. Dale Huff. Ray Weatherholt. Elizabeth Raleigh, and she'll be speaking to you in just a couple of minutes. Donna Anderson. Okay. Earl Stewart. He's been floating around in the back. Earl, how long have you been around?
40 inches.
There's the comedian in the group. You've been a Master Gardener for quite some time, haven't you? You haven't? But you,
About 40 years.
about 4 years? Okay. See, I was gonna give you credit for longer. Okay. Terry Gootnet and his wife Mary Gootnet. Jeanette Beach. Griffin. All the time I have a right and then I go and screw it up. Okay. Mary? Marie. God, it's Monday. I had a rough day. I hit my car in the shop. Marie Cox. Lori Rose. Patty Slaughter just finished up her internship in the last, 5 months? So she was in the 2013 class. Okay, have I missed any Master Gardeners? No. Okay. Elizabeth, do you want to get up real quick? Guys, pull out your program, what we do as, yeah. I read a copy. Good, how are you? Okay, guys, so in our book of what we do, soil testing is, I think, towards the back. Elizabeth is serving as our interim project coordinator. Okay, so if you want to give a quick, since that's what we're going to do tonight, give a quick.
I'm just going to give a brief overview. Soil testing is one of the opportunities you have to earn basically hours towards your master gardening. It's a very simple test that the Purdue Extension offers for 3 nutrients are tested as well as a pH test. If you are interested, please let me know. I'm also the secretary of the organization, and in the newsletter, all of my contact information is there. If you are interested, it's a training process that I take you through and let you go. It is fun. You learn that people do not realize the difference between soil, mulch, and stone. In fact, in one day you bring in mulch 3 times.
Yes, we have that realized. And she couldn't understand why I kept calling saying, please bring me a different sample.
Yes, because we do test soil. And actually going through your training programs, you're going to hear again and again and again the importance of getting your soil tested. And it's a perfect opportunity to learn how to do that. I'm going to be quick and brief because I know you came here to learn about soil nutrition. Any questions? If you have questions, feel free to call me. My phone number and email are in the newsletter. Okay? And I will be more than happy to coordinate a training time because the soil has started coming in. And as of right now, there's only 3 of us testing the soil. So all help is needed. Yes.
Something once you train us, we can do at house? Or?
No, all of it has to be done here at the Extension office during the Extension hours, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
But we can schedule any day that you want, Monday through Friday, as long as we're open. So this project is very flexible with that.
Very flexible with your schedule, but it is, you work by yourself. After you go through the training process, and then you get really comfortable with it. It's just building up to that comfort level. But a great way to earn your hours.
What is your name again? I'm sorry.
I'm Elizabeth Raleigh. Like Sir Walter. R-A-L-E-I-G-H. It's spelled every which way it's something. All right, thank you for your time, and I will.
Okay. And we had a couple other master gardeners sneak in. Mary Klein is a master gardener. She's in the back. Jen Burton is a master gardener. And Tim Lynn is actually a master gardener from
Jackson County.
Jackson County. So he hangs out in Louisville, and he comes stay the night with us. So those are some other master gardeners. Bev, do you want to talk about Optimist real quick? Optimist Club is in your program guide as well, your project guide.
Yeah, I'm the odd one.
My name is Beverly Early. I'm with the Georgetown Optimist Club.
I'm not in New York.
There's our
No,
Okay.
I lived in New Jersey at one
What
time.
you see there's the
But I
main
live-
building
right
in the
now,
parking
I'm
lot.
living in
All of the trees
Kentucky.
that you see around over here is the kids'
I'm here.
garden.
Yeah.
Up at the top where the little search thing is the butterfly garden. When I first started at the Georgetown Optimist Club. I was the first female member. This is 25 years plus ago. The entire grounds were grass. Oh, okay. I've never used this before. How did you just do that?
Red button.
Right there. Oh, okay. Okay. All of this area, all along the flower beds along the front, oh, very good, all the trees. Everything was grass. And my 4-H club at the time asked if they could do a flower bed. And the Optimist Club graciously said, yes, plant whatever you want. So this area in here became our 4 beginning flower beds. And from that, we have extended the flowers as they continue to multiply, of course. They came down into these flower beds, the perennials came along here. Over the years, there is, if you're going up this way up the hill, there are maple trees that my 2 sons planted as part of a 4-H project. Every year we planted a tree for Arbor Day, and all of the trees and bushes all over this area, all up along the hillside, everything was planted by either me or 4-Hers or Boy Scouts or some other group. So when we first started, there was absolutely nothing but grass, and the man that cut the grass would spend days on his little lawnmower cutting the grass. So we have planted flower beds everywhere. The only thing that was here was the big maples. This is a white dogwood here. These are a couple maples. There were more maples along here, but the tornado took them out. And that's a maple. This, everything else, the poplars here, the river birches, everything has been planted over the last 25 years. So what we're looking at now, this year, the main focus is going to be going along and labeling and naming all of the plants and flowers, bushes, everything that's on the grounds. We have people that drive by on 64, and they see me in the morning and they see me at night when they're coming back home. And I will be out there I'm just happy as I can be. It's just a passion. But I love landscaping, I love designing these beds, and people tell me they'll stop, and they'll pull in a little driveway right here, and they'll come over to me and they'll go, can you tell me what this is? I love this thing. And so I'll go over with them what it is. Can I get a start of that? Yes, I have my shovel right here. And so all of Georgetown has plenty of these parks. And then they'll say, well, I have this problem in my yard, blah, blah, blah. And I go, okay, well, this is probably what you need to do. So, you get the entire gamut. I mean, it's from people that, by labeling, the good thing about labeling the plants is that when they come up, they always take seeds. I mean, I'll be out there and I'll see people pull up into the parking lot and they'll just be grabbing seeds. Well, this time they'll know they're getting a moonflower and not a Jimson weed. Because there have been people that have done that. And so the main focus this year is going to be labeling everything, getting everything labeled. There's a flower bed right here along the back too. We just had the new shed put in. And then one of the other focuses this year is this problem right here. This is a storm drainage problem. I've talked to 2 engineers and I've talked to 2 soil and water people. I'm talking to another engineer this week. And the problem starts way over here on Canal Lane. If you know anything about Georgetown, Lisa Lane, Marcy Lane, all of that drainage has come down here for years, and it goes into this creek. It has dropped the silt and rocks and everything, so the consensus is dig a 5-foot ditch out of this. Because where you see this line here, this is where the water stays and it can't be mowed anymore, and it's all weed. You can't do anything with it. The boots can't even walk around these river birches and tulip poplars anymore and all of this. So that's the consensus right now. And this is the bridge that the Boy Scouts built for the Master Gardeners. So all of that needs to be like dug out about a 5-foot trench over here. And then up in this area, right in here, and actually you can't tell it from this, but it's a dip. It's a low dip. And so it was suggested that we have that dug out and then we put a berm along here and then we let that fill up with water. And so that would be like a mini wetland, I guess you would say. So there's a lot to do here, a lot of planning. We have a family, and over the years, lots of people approach me and they go, you know, my mother died, my uncle died, I would like to put a tree or a bush on the Optimist Club property. And, because it's community property. And I said, sure. So we have, let's see, over here, a smoke tree, a lilac that was planted for people. There's a pink dogwood, and we developed a bed around it. Now I have a family that wants to put up a 30-foot flagpole, build a garden around it, and honor veterans, which is fantastic. They want me to help design the garden. So this is, you know, another master gardener thing. Here we go. But to where to put it and the lighting and everything that they want a bench. They want families to be able to come, you know, and to honor their family there at the flagpole. So I've got that in the works to help, you know, work with that design. And then we have people that come. This is the kids' garden. We'll be working there this summer. But they'll pull on the parking lot. One man, he is so darling. He's probably, he's as old as me. I'll be 65 this year. He's probably my age, a little bit older. And he pulls there, and I asked him one day, because he has his oxygen tank, and I said, can I help you, sir? I thought, maybe he's getting a heat stroke or something. And he said, no. He said, I love to come here and just sit. I roll my windows down, and I just listen and watch the birds and everything. And so it's just it's a beautiful place. If you've never been there, we have people that come and walk all the time. They'll walk through the property. The dogs have to be on leashes, but they do walk. And if you're ever there working in the butterfly garden or the kids' garden, you may see a little black cat. He's fixed. I do work with alley cats, and we fix cats. But he is the resident drive-in cat, and we feed him every night at our place. And his name is Salem. So, but he is feral. He won't come any closer than 10 foot to you. But that's basically the gist of it. It's just, it still has a lot to be developed. You know, I'm always out there. People are always calling me, can I bring this? Can you plant this on the ground? You know, and just, it's just amazing. But anyway, I've had fun for the last 25 years, and if anybody has any questions, I'll be here for a little while after.
You know, the drainage problem you had in that area, the Optimist Club ran mud races.
Oh, I know. I know, and they
That
also.
Give you an idea how much of a drainage problem you had there.
Oh, I know, but that was the main thing, was they said the easiest way would be to start up here where you can see the grass that has grown, and just to come straight down here, do a 5-foot trench, and just have it as an open ditch. And so I'm thinking, okay, open ditch with some button bushes and some other things along the side, and then up there, you know, along this mud hole, wetland area, you know, some more plantings for wildlife and stuff. So that's what I see. I don't see a mud hole, I see potential. I guess that's all I have to say. You can always find me. I'm always on the Optimist Club grounds, and even if it's not raining or raining, you'll see me there somewhere.
Thank you, Beth. So yeah, contact Beth if that's something you want to do. That's pretty flexible. You can go out and stuff. So Kelly, last week you asked a question about how to identify between wild garlic and wild onion, right? Okay. The wild onion has a solid stem on it.
Have a what?
It has a solid stem. As opposed to the other one's hollow.
Oh, okay.
So that's the difference is hollow versus solid. The weed specialist happened to say that this morning, he said we really don't have wild onion or stuff.
We have
Wild garlic. But people do call it wild onion. So, all those things that are. All right, we are moving on to soil nutrition now. Who's excited about soil nutrition? Yay! Soil! Not dirt. Okay, tonight's speaker is Gary Gascoigne. He is a former FFA advisor and ag teacher, and now he's a farmer. Full-time farmer? Part-time farmer. So he's going to, listen, I guess you don't need this.
Yes.
You will be on the pointer, don't you?
Yes, I do. Sparingly with that, okay? By the way, do you have the handout that with the soil sampling?
Yes, they do.
You give that, okay, I didn't say that yet. I'll have to, we give you a copy of that. I pretty well know what it said up there.
I gave them a Purdue Cup, 3 pages, how to take a soil sample.
Oh, right, oh, okay, that's the old, okay, good deal. You got the red here, I'm
Yep.
color efficient, so that's the little single line, there we go, like that, all right, now, I'm glad you got a little markers there. Here is a fellow that is color deficient, you know, color blind, and I taught soils for like 35 years, now think about it. The grays and the browns and the reds and all that. I'd have to ask students sometimes, what color do you see? And if they tell me, then we'll go from there, okay? So I have a lot of deficiencies, and that's one of them, but I've managed to work through that over the years, okay? Gary Guesswine, I taught agriculture at North Harrison High School, also at Lanesville toward the end of the career. Before that, a few other schools in central Indiana. I originally from the area, and basically blew up in Floyd County, just on the line, Floyd Harrison County line, on a farm out there. Some of you may know, some of the Guesswines, the Lanesville bunch. That's where they all originated from. And so that's basically the part of my background. I taught, I was in the State Department of Education during that time for about 10 years, as a horticulture consultant curriculum and also young farmers. I did teach horticulture, landscaping, and that type of thing for 8 to 10 years throughout part of my ag teaching career. So I really enjoyed that and worked with greenhouse production and tried to hand in hydroponics a little bit, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, done old landscaping, which was, it's not an expert, but we tried all that and used to do that. So we had kind of a varied background and farm about 600 acres now with my brothers and that type of thing. And graduated Purdue in 1969, and then I got 2 daughters. I got a daughter and son that graduated Purdue. My wife was a teacher, and we reside near Bradford, where we actually live, out near in Harrison County. So we have a lot of connections with both counties here, and it's been probably 10, 12 years since I've done a Master Gardener program. This is a huge crowd, folks. So you're going to have to bear with me. I'm used to working with like 20 or so, and so some of my hands-on things is going to take a little time.
We do a big in Floyd County.
Huh? I good. That's great. That's fantastic. Really, that's a good situation. So now, how many in here have put out, let's say, vegetable or flower gardens? Raise your hand. Hands down. That's good. I figure everybody. Most of you have either planters, patio pots, that kind of thing around either front porch, back porch, patio, or out in the yard. Everybody got some of those too? Work with them? Good, good. Let's see. How many of you got computers at home? Or iPhones? Good, everybody's got them. Well, you don't need me tonight. You just punch in a name and it'll come up and tell you how to do it, okay? There's all kinds of options. I try to get folks, I haven't done something like this for a while. I used to do it in my classes all the time and done those kinds of things. I better get kind of caught up. I get on there and I'm not the greatest savvy when it comes to working the internet, and our computer Word and Internet Explorer going nuts on me. Cursor keeps flying off. So the deal is, the point being is the fact that once you get on there, it's overwhelming. Most of you probably know that and figured that out way ahead of me. And we're going to try to summarize that a little bit. We're going to try to keep to the basics is what we're going to deal with. Now, I don't know all of you. Some of you know more about this than I do. Some of you have experienced very little with it. Please ask questions. Okay, anytime. I don't care. If it interrupts me to do something else, I'll find my thoughts somewhere out in the hallway and bring it back, and we'll go on, okay? And we'll kind of go from there. I'm going to start with a little bit of background, and pardon me for looking at a guy outline, because I don't have everything totally memorized, but I need to take my place and find out where I'm at from time to time. A lot of our soil nutrients are elements, all the things dependent upon, it all comes from the soil, folks. One of the introductions I used to make is the fact that with the kids, name me something that does not come from the soil. Think about that. I all the way in the Arctic, anything that comes from the soil. So our nutrients, we're mining the potash, we're mining the phosphorus, we're moving it to different locations. We got the oil base with the nitrogen work and all that type of thing. So a lot of it had to do, and Indiana is blessed to have all kinds of variation of soils. And I threw this up here. It's not the greatest map on, if I can get it to work. I got that right away. There we go. The push road. We're located obviously right down in here. Most of you are familiar with the glacial period of Indiana. And basically we had like, I think 3 of them, I think through the period of time over, including all the way back to this 50, 60, 70, 80,000 years ago. I'm not going to get into all that. But the glacier kind of fingered down in this area some, didn't touch this area much here. A lot of outwash over here because of the Wabash River, which starts way up here and works its way down. We have prairie soils in Indiana. There's a finger that comes into here, kind of spreads out a little bit, and basically that's been glaciated 3 times, sometimes 4 times. And so it's new soil, maybe 10,000 years old. And so what's happened is that prairie soil, most of you, what's the basis for prairie soils or our soils? What caused them to be so dark up that way? Or high in organic matter? What was the premise? Anybody?
Worse.
Huh?
It's sucked in case.
What kind of stuff?
Dead animals and stuff like that.
Beyond animals.
Grass.
Grasses. Grasses was the big deal. Okay? Year after year. The buffalo would cross here at the Falls of the Ohio. Okay? They'd wander their way back up into Illinois and prairie grasses during the summer. They'd come back through below White River, come back through here across the falls. Of course, there weren't dams or anything then. So basically where they were heading to Lexington, Kentucky for the salt in the winter. Grasses out there, had their calves, all that type of thing. The point being is that they knew all about this, okay, and what to deal with. Thousands a year of grasses built that up on top of the glacier, what glacier level. We didn't get the leveling down here, obviously. Got a little bit down in here. You're starting to get into shale here. We got bedrock, and you get into a little bit of sandstone over here. Most of our base soil is limestone, okay? And most of you know what limestone is, I presume. The shale is gray. You'll get some gray areas up in here that colors the soil. So the base rock, or bedrock, also affects the content and also the nutrient level of the soil. Our prairie soils, a lot of grasses, high nutrients, organic matter, that creates this problem. Okay? Let's see, there was one other thing I was going to mention. It kind of varies up in this way. With the glacier melt and everything caused a lot of sediment and movement in your valleys, and the soils change there. Alluvial soils are new, next to Auburn Valley, next to Indian Creek, next to what goes through the Silver Creek and all that's got little floodplains, and this, if you dig down there, all the soil looks the same because it's all topsoil. Okay? And a lot of nutrients there, basically, as far as that's concerned. So if you happen to have a home or garden that's next to a creek, sometimes you have a little better advantage there at that particular point. In most cases, unless it floods, unless it's gravel, outwashes, things like that. So Indiana is unique. I've been lucky enough to travel the whole state of Indiana. Got a pretty good idea what most of that looks like. And in our area, we're right at the edge. Most of our Floyd, Harrison County, or Floyd line right there is all bedrock, and you got a few sinkholes to deal with. And it's old soil, maybe 100,000 years old, 200,000, whatever. And okay, some students used to call me as old as dirt too. But anyway, basically, what the deal was is that as we went through that, you got to give it in mind that's an old soil. One way to determine old soil, and I don't have profiles with me tonight. There's lots of props that I normally work with. If it's a profile, it's definite. There's a definite topsoil, a definite subsoil, and maybe a big sea horizon. It's very delineated. That's an old soil. New soils kind of fade in the colors or textures or whatever. So properties of soil would be the color, the texture, okay, the formation, the blockiness, how it breaks apart. All that has content and also has to deal with nutrients in the base. Okay? We won't be looking at that the whole time. I gotta, as we get into, most of the soil work, I'm gonna be primarily with nutrients, working with, structure and texture, is basically what we're gonna deal with, and you'll find out later how that all works out. This is 3 makeups of soil, texture. What are the particles, sizes we call them? Anybody know the
Sand, rock.
sand, silt, and clay? Well, good, you're on target, okay? Basically, it's pretty straightforward. If you were going to, oops, I gotta pull this out here. I need to get my proper lighting up here. Just a second. 1, 2 games in a row. That's great. Anyway, I know I got a bunch of IU people in here. All right, I can deal with that. Okay, now, what I gotta get is another prop out here. And basically, the size of soil particles, this would maybe represent,
You need another hand there?
nope, I'll get it.
Okay.
This would represent maybe a sand particle in reference to the size. You can feel it, it's gritty, everybody knows what sand feels like. It's pretty obvious. This might be a silt particle in reference to size, okay? Silt, normally you can't hardly tell it in soils. Now this sounds old-fashioned, but I'm born and raised on a dairy farm, so I went barefooted. After a rainstorm or outside the ditch or someplace, there would be a sediment or silt at the end, okay? And you'd hit that with your bare feet thinking it would be sticky and gooey because it might be clay, okay? It just kind of didn't stick, it felt good and smooth, that's silt, okay? It's silt is smooth, it's almost like baby powder, okay? If you're looking at it, you can actually see the grains to the naked eye pretty much. Clay, this is you can't see it, it's a popcorn seed. And clay is microscopic, you can't see them. They are one of the things that deal with clay, but they're probably the most important of the 3 that we're going to deal with tonight, especially soil nutrients, okay, in reference to that. Because it's a negative charge particle, as we're going to find out a little bit later what that deals with, and how the nutrients will depict and how we balance our soil's fertility. The clay particle is also, as you get into mixtures, it's sticky, right? Because you can't feel it, it sticks together. That's how they make brick out of clay. You know, that kind of thing, all kinds of stuff, like pots, you know, that heat it, stick it together, and it stays, and all that kind of stuff. So the idea is the fact that clay, what you see the Ohio River getting muddy, what you see is clay particles floating, takes them forever to dissolve out, or settle out, they say. Okay, I used to have a jar and shake up soil, and the sand would go real quick to the bottom, silt would come in unlayered, and clay would be cloudy, muddy looking water. That's what a clay particle would be. So it's a big deal when it comes to understanding fertility and erosion issues, and how you manage the soil and work with that. So, size of particles is a big deal, okay, in reference to that. Now, I asked a few people before about, you don't mind getting a little dirty. We're going to do a couple of things dealing with texture, just right off the bat. I don't know how we're going to do it with 50 or 60 people. We'll manage we'll make it work. But what I'd like for you to do is what I've done up here, and I've tried to get some soil samples. I've tried to get the moisture level about where it should be. As you know, if you get something really dry, it's just going to fall apart regardless of what it is. Okay? You get down below that 14% moisture for food, and you open your cereal box that was 3% moisture, it would go with the powder, you know. So the moisture has to be there. The moisture level in these for determining textures, you need some moisture in that. If you get too much, then it gets real sticky. There's one sample that I probably got a little too much moisture with it. It'll probably be stickier than it probably should be. But basically what I've got is a sandy soil I want you to feel. Now when you do this, now I used to teach it where I put it between my finger and my thumb and push it out to see if it would rip. Okay, it's just pretty basic. And some people can pick it up and just feel it. Well, you gotta kind of push it out and see if it crumbles or breaks apart easily. Sand obviously will. You'll know sand, it's easy. And this is actually a soil sample, by the way. I'll tell you later where. Okay, as far as that's concerned. Medium textured, you need to take a look at that. Should ribbon out to maybe a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Should kind of stick together and then break and fall apart, just like that. Okay? That's what you want on with a medium. Now some people, you've been around gardens enough and you've been around soil enough, you know what a soil feels like or breaks apart and what it should be. Okay? Most of you probably know that, but we're going to go just a little bit deeper tonight with that. Okay? I couldn't get a clay one. I got a moderately clay, they call it. And it's, I'll let you be determining that. It holds together pretty good. It's not going to be as strong as clay. The real clay soils, you can take a knife, you get a sample of clay soil down underneath the subsoil around in our area, you can find it easily. Sometimes it's on the surface, okay? But you can take a knife, slice it, and it'll be shiny. You won't even have to rip it or anything. Sometimes it's really hard, particle. If you get down underneath, it'll be hard as a rock if it's somewhat dry. It'll be like rock almost, and that type of thing. So the clay particles, what you're doing is the fine, so you basically are making a mirror out of them. You're putting them all together in a nice neat row, and it makes it look shiny, okay? Kind of a thing. Then I want you to just sample those quickly, no big deal. They're labeled, easy, no problem. Then I want you to come over, and I got an A and B sample, and I want you to tell me which one has more clay in it. So this is not rocket science, folks. This ain't gonna take much. Okay, so this, you can figure this out. It's easy. And so, but you need to feel and get an idea of what we're talking about. Then, I'm going to, over here, I never labeled these. And I want you to tell me what, and basically we're going to do this kind of on your own type of thing and build around. There's no other good way to do it. But when you get over here, I want you to feel that, and then the answer is on the card. You have to lift it up to find out, okay? I'm not going to tell you the answer, I'm not going to label it, but you kind of guess what it is, okay? As far as that's concerned. And we can do all kinds of samples, but I didn't have time to get all these together. I like to find different ones that I need to. But this gives us, I'm pleased with the representation. You're going to see most of the cross-section here with that, okay? Let's take a few minutes to just do that and get the other light on so they can see the colors a little bit. And then just get up and just, you can start.
So, do you want to start on that side, Matthew, and then
We'll start here and go right here real quick. Just kind of line up, take a little bit of time, do that. And you can jump in the middle of one. You don't have to wait as far as that's concerned. Some of you that know textures, you jump over here and have your guess at it. As far as that's concerned.
You are,
I noticed that on that sheet. What's your job?
I don't know. Any questions you got? I'll either I may know, I may not know. If not, I go to higher authority. No problem. You have any questions?
Not right at the time.
Well, if you do, just hit me with it, and we'll get answers for you.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We shall.
Have dirt under your fingernails.
Yes, I mean, no, this is expensive grease. Yes, coming soon it will be. What happened here?
I remember very distinctly they had a drawing to never was the first words out of his mouth. Dirt's on his finger.
Yeah, that dirt class. Yeah. I took one semester of agronomy. There's a lot, well, as you say, you can get your doctorates in dirt.
You know, there's one thing though that I think is really interesting, and it makes me think maybe we'll finally get a right track, is that, well, like for instance, just recently, I used to be a certified crop advisor. I was with Farm Bureau and Home Fertilizer and all that for years. And I got out of that business, so I dropped all my licenses. And just recently, I was going to take the pesticide application. Anyway, I was reading through the book, and just like with agronomy at the same time as pesticide, they're now teaching more of a, kind of look at the big picture, look at the whole environment, soils are living thing, all the different aspects that they're not just treating, whether it be, when I was in there in the 70s, soil was something back in the function, not a living, breathing entity. Just like with these pesticide classes, I mean, now, you gotta be concerned about your neighbor, you gotta be concerned about the wildlife, you gotta be concerned about,
Yes.
streams and all that. Back then, nobody cared. Now, at least they do.
Well, land is getting, as you say, your thoughts of land is being more precious. More precious. And the population is getting so big that they're taking more land, and we don't have it to work with. We don't have the extra.
It seems like there's more conservation.
Yes.
And I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the good old days when potash was going to be $100 a ton, you put a little extra on just to say you did it.
You're just gonna have to carry in your own,
Now that it's $1,000,
your own value.
Nope.
I'll tell you something that I see some farmers in Western Canada doing. Have you ever heard of those forage, not forage, cover crop issues they plant now? They're like daikon radishes. They grow 18 inches down in the ground, and they pull up nutrients from the subsoil and bring them up. So the farmers don't have to put up with
Well, I know if you, on grass, if you cut it at, say, cut the grass at 4 inches per root, there's a possibility the roots go down to possible 10 inches. So that's down where it isn't dried out yet, even though it may be dry on the surface. So
these things they plant in the early fall, like with airplanes and standing corn. These radishes germinate and they grow and you get to the lawn and it goes straight down, straight through clay, hard sand, and it goes through anything.
if they're doing that,
Then they die
yeah.
after it falls and they rot. And then the next year, all those nutrients
are in the bulb.
Yeah.
Great.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Plus, it aerates the soil. I mean, these things are this big.
Yeah.
That long.
And what do I do about it?
Hold on, a little next.
They're called groundhog rays.
I'm trucking, okay? Don't mind me, I'm used to that, that's not a problem, okay? Now, your samples of A and B, everybody pick out which one has the more clay in it, A or B? B. B, yeah. It's pretty, not in a whole lot, but I wanted to kind of get your feel a little bit different. I know, big drastic difference, but some. Okay, and I looked into that this afternoon when I was kind of getting things ready. I thought, well, I'll get them a little closer to deal with. Also over here, well, sand. I gotta tell you about that first. Where do you think I got this sand from? Huh?
Jackson County.
Oh, I know, Jasper County, you said?
Jackson.
Jackson? Yeah, there could have been sand up there, a little lighter color. Okay, but there is a sand deposit in Jackson County, also over in near Vincennes. They grow some watermelon over that way. And then if you go up to Jasper County, which I thought, man, you guys know where some sand in Indiana is at. Okay, there's some deposits up there where they irrigate a lot. And that glacier, what we're talking about, whoops, Indiana.
You gotta get that in.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And so what the deal is that they'll be in these wind-blown, sometimes water deposited type sands. And Jackson County is the wind-blown, Vincennes is kind of a wind-blown area. So you'll have these different textures and soils located in Indiana. We have and I don't know, I haven't been there, and I keep wanting to investigate it more, but in Harrison County, we have what they call the sand pit where they get glass, make glass from. And I guess it's unique sand that makes good glass. Some of you may know about that. I've been trying to figure out, I even talked to some of the geologists how it got there. And that's still kind of a quiz on some of them. They're not sure how it was deposited. Because it's up above the river and all that, but it's not, it's a concentrated area and it wouldn't be wind blown.
Is that up in Elizabeth?
Yep, Elizabeth area, glass, you know, glass plant, there used to be a plant there, I guess, or is, or something to that effect. So these deposits and things like this really throw you for a loop. This one here, I was in Florida 2 weeks in January.